Look, you two, it's the sea, Ridis exclaims, frolicking in glee. You, on the other hand, trudge along as far as you can from the coast, ignoring the hair sticking to your forehead. Feeling something at your feet, you glance down. There's something underneath your boot. It appears you've stepped on a monster's cape, making it very upset. It attacks you in fury. Nice work. pick up a scrap of paper dropped by some manner of monster. It has a message scrawled on it in crude lettering. Clearly, whoever dropped this message did not want to forget where the stolen treasure is hidden. You stash the scrap of paper in your pack and resolve to keep an eye out for the treasure on your travels. You are surprised to find a merchant selling goods in a place like this. You decide to take a look, and the merchant welcomes you energetically. You're in luck. I have some rare items for sale, she remarks, lining up some goods before you. She begins closing her shop, saying she needs to stock up on wares again. It seems you won't be able to do any more shopping here. Let's do this. Something's catching the sunlight just so. You move closer to get a better look at it. You find a chest lodged in the hollow of a tree. Something about this feels familiar. You fish a note out of your pack. Sure enough, this is the location those thieves mentioned when you were eavesdropping. Quite convinced you've found their stash, you open the chest with a self-satisfied smirk on your face. Don't hold back. Nice work. That was lucky. You can't go in there. Lying in the dirt, you find an old telescope. You pick it up and angle it toward the coastline. All you know is there's something up ahead. You should be able to tell for certain what it is if you get closer. Your interest peaked. You drop the telescope and race your friends over to what you saw. You see a fish washed up on the shore and whoop for joy at discovering your next meal. But then a monster appears out of nowhere. Seems like it's keen on snacking on that fish too. You're gonna have to duke it out. Rout the enemy. Well, you won. But the fish got all trampled and gross during the battle. So much for dinner. You spy a rather large number of monster prints on the ground. A wry smile plays across your lips as you remove the scrap of paper from your pack. You pull from your pack the note a monster dropped near the musty tower. You feel around in the grass for a few moments before your hand strikes something surprisingly firm. The scrap of paper tells no lies. You greedily open the chest. And fight. A monster appears. Rather, you approach it, because the poor thing's paralyzed from head to toe. You may be able to aid it by administering some curative. You would help it if you could, but you have no curative on hand. Unable to do anything more, you keep walking. Let's do this. Let's do this. Fortune favors the bold. As you make your way to the coast, a piece of paper nearly smacks you in the face as it blows past. You snatch it out of the air. It depicts a woman standing before a sunset. She smiles sweetly at you. Examining the background of the picture closely, you spot a lighthouse in the distance. Written on the other side of the paper is a single word. My darling dearest, I give you my love, my treasure, my everything. The only word you need to see, really. Treasure. Certain you'll come across it in your travels, you stuff the picture into your pack for safekeeping. The woman smiles at your words of loneliness and sadness, then thanks you for your input. Her reaction wasn't quite what you were hoping for, but at least you received a gift in thanks. you gradually begin to feel quite ill. The world spins. You feel yourself coming unmoored. The doctor of sorts eyes the now empty bottle. Well now, drinking it all at once is a fine way to poison yourself, he tells you. Should have led with that, you try to say, but it comes out sounding more like da-da-da-da-da. Oh? Oh? Congrats. And fight. Yeah, looks like it was only an old woman. You try to say hello, but she wanders off without even registering your presence. Let's head to Unionville first. A bizarre rock appeared. It seems primed to explode. The bizarre rock transformed into a fear rock. The only way out of this fight is through it. And fight. Nice work. Nice work. You see something approaching from up ahead. A monster, Melanie shouts, readying for battle. Mr. Flobby, get back here. It's dangerous out there, a young girl chides, taking the creature back to the village. It seems you've finally arrived at Unionville, a village where humans and monsters live together in peace. What a weird place, remarks Ridis lightheartedly. I like it. We aren't staying a moment longer than necessary, says an unsettled Melanie, her distaste for monsters plain on her face. Any travelers with magical little critters can stay for free, the innkeeper informs you. It appears the headman's long-standing pronouncement on the welcoming of all magical creatures also applies to you and your party. The woman frowns deeply, claiming the cakes she bought for her beloved furball have all been eaten by someone else. A quiet furball sits with crumbs around its mouth. The child says his monster friend left the village suddenly to go back home. He claims the headman told him that he could go home when he grew up too. The little orc child pouts, but I don't know where my home is. You ask the old man if he knows anything about the dragon. No, sir, he answers. All I know is that it brings more trouble to this already troubled world. But our headman is a wise and worldly man. He might know something, he remarks, pointing at a house not far away. The little goblin sulks as he gazes upon the withering flowers he tried so desperately to take care of. He looks at you with tears in his eyes, silently begging you for help. You pour the salve onto the flowers, and they stand up tall. The goblin cries out in happiness and thanks you for your help. He then holds something out to you. The goblin stares lovingly at the beautiful flowers and gobbles them up. Healthy flowers are the tastiest, he proclaims in glee. Did he grow those flowers just to eat them? A young boy wanders up to your group in wide-eyed wonder. You surmise his curiosity stems from the lack of travelers visiting the village. You realize you are right when he assails you with questions about your origins and adventures. The Inquisition leaves you exhausted. However, does your mouth become so filthy, Mr. Flobby? Sighs the girl as she wipes the slime clean. Clearly embarrassed, Mr. Flobby murmurs, "That's not my mouth." The little orc child is engrossed in a fairy tale. The title reads, "The Legend of the Dragon." You take a peek into the picture book and come across a passage that piques your interest. To where, you wonder, then recall that this is merely a fairy tale. The village headman is a renowned gourmet, and rumor has it he only dines on the finest foods. The man says he wishes he too could have such a lavish meal just once in his life, his deep desire for delicacies only growing with time. Wow, a new friend, and so big too, the furball exclaims in glee as it rushes over to Mar. Mar stares off into the distance as the furball snuggles up to his leg. For some reason, Riddis joins in on the cuddling. Lately, a suspicious man cloaked in black has been seen wandering about the village outskirts. The old woman looks at Melanie and remarks that he was dressed just like her. "Travelers," you hear a voice call from somewhere. "Down here, at thy feet." You look down to see a small clump of fur by your boots. The clump of fur speaks. "I am Lappy, and I should like to journey forth with thee." Lappy the furball looks at you with amiable expectations. "Of course, the more the merrier," you exclaim, pumping your fist energetically into the air. But Melanie coldly interjects, "No, I can't trust monsters." Thoroughly rejected by Melanie, Lappy bursts into tears. Lappy says he has no friends because of his aged face and speech. All alone, he decided to leave the village on a journey. Your party is silenced by the crying child with the face of a grown man. You tell Melanie to be nice and quip that both she and Lappy could use a friend. Exhausted from arguing with you, Melanie half-heartedly agrees. "Fine, we can be friends." However, she says that they are on a dangerous journey to defeat the dragon. As such, they cannot take a child with them. Lappy leaps up and hugs her in his excitement, exclaiming, "Thou hast made me so happy." "Till next time," Melanie says, peeling Lappy off of her and placing him on the ground. Though she thought all monsters to be evil, Melanie feels that the ones here are different. Finally, a friend. You bow, but before you can speak, the man suddenly introduces himself as the village headman. He laughs, then shamelessly praises his own village as being wondrous and peaceful. "And who are you?" he asks. After explaining that you are on a quest to defeat the dragon, the headman invites you to rest your feet a bit in his village. He says that he had heard rumors of the dragon when he traveled the world. "You must be tired from your journey. Have a seat. I will have my chef prepare a feast," the headman says, then claps his hands twice to summon a stewardess. Extravagant dishes that you have never seen before are placed on the table before you, each one looking more delicious than the last. "You're drooling," Melanie scowls. You hadn't even noticed. You wipe your mouth with your sleeve, then gasp as you turn to Mar. Perhaps in an attempt to hold himself back, Mar is gnawing on the table corner. There, we'll eat soon," you reassure Mar while gently stroking his head. The doors fly open in the next instant, and a girl runs in. With tears in her eyes, she tells you that her dear companion Mr. Flobby the Slime is missing. The headman's eyes go wide in surprise. "We must find that slime right away," he says anxiously. "You are starving, but it doesn't look like you'll be able to partake of the feast before you because of Mr. Flobby's disappearance." "We will find your slime, and then we feast," you add quietly. Melanie reminds you that you are here to get clues about the dragon from the headman. What's the difference? Literally everything. Hunger taking its toll, you two begin to argue. "Brave heroes," the headman interjects, then bows his head. "Would you please find her slime?" It appears the story has hit a standstill until you find the missing Mr. Flobby. You need to hear the whole story from the young girl. The girl sobs, wailing about the missing Mr. Flobby. Melanie places her hand atop the girl's head and promises that your party will find her companion. The girl then hands something to Melanie. It looks like the muddy handkerchief she used to wipe Mr. Flobby. She asks Melanie to wipe Mr. Flobby with it after you find him. The girl claims to have searched the village but cannot find her friend anywhere. Regardless, looking aimlessly outside the village would be a waste of time. You decide to collect more information in the village. She says she saw a suspicious man in black with a slime outside the village not long ago. She claimed they went northwest together. Did that man take Mr. Flobby? You resolve to leave the village in search of the pair.